Hey everyone, welcome back to AlfaTech. Today we have an intriguing coding challenge that will test your problem solving skills. You will be solving the problem of rearranging brackets to achieve balance in a string. Here is the challenge. You are given a string containing only the characters, opening bracket and closing bracket. Your task is to determine if the string can be rearranged to form a balanced pair of brackets. A pair of brackets is considered balanced if for every opening bracket there is a corresponding closing bracket. Write a function can rearrange to balance a string that takes a string as input and returns true if the bracket can be rearranged to form balanced pairs and false otherwise. So what this challenge is all about is like we want to balance a pair of brackets. For example, if we have this pair of brackets like this, so we have something like this. So as you can see, this bracket is not balanced because we only have one opening bracket and we have two opening brackets. So in this case, this should return false. But in this case, another example, if we have a pair of brackets like this, it means this bracket will return true because it can be balanced. It can be balanced. Like for example, we have just one closing bracket and we have one opening bracket. So one opening bracket and one closing bracket will surely form a bracket like this. So it means this can be rearranged to form a bracket. So I hope this question is understood. The challenge is understood. So let me delete this and even delete the questions. Save. Now let's dive right into the code. So I'm going to write a method def and I'm going to call it can arrange to balance, and it's going to have a string as input. So we need to check if this input, the length of this input is odd. So if it is odd, definitely it means the bracket cannot be balanced. So to do that, we can use our if statement. If string dot length modulus 2 not equals to 0. So it means that this is not an even number. So it means the length is not an even number. So what we do want to do, we want to return false because the string will not be balanced, can never be balanced in this case. Else, we need to check if the string is even. So if it is even, we need to check if the opening bracket and the closing bracket are equal. So how are we going to do that? So in this case, we can loop through the string dot each char do so let us end this. Let us close our else block. So we are going to check if char, which is one of the characters from the string, is equal to opening bracket, the opening bracket. If it is equal to the opening bracket, we need to increment something. So it means we need to create a variable. So let me say we have opening bracket, then we have to have the closing bracket, and they both have 0. Now in this case we need to increment the opening bracket if the car is equal to the opening bracket. So we are going to have open bracket plus equals to 1, else, so we have the closing bracket, closing bracket, it seems I did mistake here, so it shouldn't be this. So closing bracket plus equals to 1, then you end your block. Now this case, what we did here is we are checking if the character from the string is equal to opening bracket. If it is equal to opening bracket, we are going to what? We are going to increment the opening bracket. So, and else, if it is not equal to the opening bracket, that means the closing bracket will be plus 1. So, after the loop, we need to check if open bracket is equal to closing bracket. So if it is what? If it is equal, so we return true. So it means the brackets can balance, the pair of brackets can balance, else we return false. So you end it. So you save, and let me minimize this a little. So we have this code. Now let us test it. P can arrange to balance. Let us start with this, and let's see our output. Good. I can see our output is false because this is just one pair of brackets, opening bracket, and it is odd. So if it is odd, it means our output will be false. This can never balance. This can never give us a complete bracket. So let's test with another example. Let's put this and see, save, run. Now we have true because this one will give us a complete bracket. So we have one pair, one opening bracket, and we have one closing bracket. So it should return true. Let me clear this, and we need to put another one to test. Let me add this. So and save. So you have to. We should check. We have one opening bracket, one closing bracket. How many open bracket do we have? 1, 2, 3, and we just have 2 closing brackets. So this should return false. So let's try it. So our code is correct. So I can see our code is correct. So let me close this, and now it's time to refactor the code. I can see here we are like using if else statement, and there are still ways we can minimize this if else and the lines of code. So let us look into it. One thing we should do is let's start from the loop. This loop we only have if else statement in the loop, so we can just turn it to what? A ternary operator. So, and how can we do that? We are going to remove this if, and this will be, we are going to have a question mark, copy this. Now we have our colon, then copy this too. So we have this. So let us remove this. So can you see our loop is now having just 3 lines of code, occupying 3 lines of code. So save and let us retry if we still have the same thing. Let me clear this one. So retry. So we have the same answer. Our answers are still correct. So this loop also, since it's just 1 line of code, we should remove this end. We don't need this one, and we just need to add this here, and we remove the do block, and save. So let's see again. Now our code is still working the same way. So we still have some other things to refactor, like this if else. We can also change it to a ternary operator, so like this, and we have this should be true. We don't need to put the return value here, so we just write true, and here we write false. So let us remove these ones. I can see our lines of code are becoming shorter. Don't forget to save. Let me clear this and rerun the code. We still have the same answer. Good. I can see the way, as much as we are refactoring the code, we are still having the same answer. So what else can we still do? Okay. Yeah. So this is okay. This is okay for now. Okay. One thing again is there's still a better way to reduce these lines of code, and I'm going to do that by opening another tab. So let me Control N, and let me save this as let me use arrange to balance .rv. So now another way we can do this is, let me copy this code. Let me copy this. I don't want to be rewriting. Let me Control Alt C and paste. So here we have, let me do this. Good. So now let us refactor this one more time. So here, since we are testing for odd, in this if statement, we are testing for odd. And one thing again is, instead of using the not equal, so I will advise you use unless. So you can use unless like this, and unless this is odd, so return false. So you can use this way instead of using the not symbol. So if I should also save this and rerun this, you'll notice we still have the same answer. Can you see? Now the last refactoring I'm going to do, because of time, is since we are testing for odd, we can just say, string. Let me comment all this out so as we can see very well. So we can say string dot length dot is it odd. This is what it means. So string dot length dot odd. So what do we want to do? Return false. So if it is odd, just return false. So if it is odd, just return false. And the next part is, instead of writing this if else statement, we can just do something like, since we are counting the opening brackets and the closing brackets, so we can just use the count method like this. Open bracket equals to string dot count. Then the opening bracket, we want to count opening bracket this way, and the other part, closing bracket equals to string dot count So this is the closing bracket. So the next we are going to do is just say open bracket equals to closing bracket. So this is just a way of saying, okay, open bracket is equals to closing bracket. This will return true if it is what? If it is equal, and it will return false if it is not equal. So let me save. Let me remove the commented code. So I can see our code is much smaller. Save, clear the terminal, and we run. Let's see. Wow, we have an error somewhere. Let me see. Oh, so sorry, I made mistake. I forgot to put my if statement here. So that is where the problem lies, because what I'm trying to do here is if return false, just like English word, return false if the length of this string is odd. As simple as that. Sorry for that. So let me clear again and retry. Now our code is working again. That's it for today's challenge, and I hope you enjoyed it. But guess what? Tomorrow we have an exciting new challenge lined up. We'll be checking the validity of parentheses in a string. You won't want to miss it. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful or enjoying the challenge, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow coding friends. Remember, practice makes perfect, and coding challenges are a fantastic way to sharpen your skills. See you tomorrow for our next coding challenge. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy coding!